Hey everyone, Brendan Snyder here. How are you? Thanks so much for joining me and welcome to a special review for the brand new single from Iron Maiden frontman Bruce Dickinson. It's called Afterglow of Ragnarok. This just came out on December 1st of 2023 and it's going to be from his upcoming new album, the Mandrake Project, which is due out March 1st. So yes, we have 4 months to wait for the rest of this. But this single here also comes with an 8-page prequel comic because the Mandrake Project is a concept album. So it's going to get us all warmed up and everything here. And what kind of boggles my mind is it has been 18 years since we got the last new solo material from Bruce Dickinson. So here we got some. I'm going to break it all down. I'll run through it, do an unboxing and everything, and talk about the concept. We'll do that in just a bit. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel and haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you turn on notifications, you're going to stay up to date on really cool things just like this with a review for the brand new Bruce Dickinson single, Afterglow of Ragnarok. Like I said, we're going to break this whole thing down. Let me give you guys a little bit of history and background on Bruce because it ties into what's happening here on this one. So Bruce first made a name for himself in 1979 when he joined the up-and-coming band Samson, performing on their first 3 studio albums before actually accepting an invitation to join Iron Maiden. And that's where we all really know him from. He did 2 stints with Iron Maiden, the first one being 1981 to 1993, and then returning in 1999 till present day. He's still there. Prior to leaving Iron Maiden the first time in 1993, Bruce Dickinson began his solo career with Tattooed Millionaire in 1990. And the project was begun when Bruce Dickinson was actually asked to write a song for the movie A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child. That was the 5th one in the series. And he wrote the future Iron Maiden hit, Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, which would ultimately turn up on No Prayer for the Dying in 1990. Now, the song ultimately was not included in the movie. Iron Maiden decided it was too good to give up as a solo song, or Bruce, to give it up as a solo song. So it became the song on No Prayer for the Dying, and the rest is history, as they say. But, that led to Bruce starting a solo career, which he ultimately left Maiden in 1993 and continued with Balls to Picasso in 1994. In all, he has released 7 solo albums, and that includes the upcoming Mandrake Project album, which will be released on March 1st of 2024. Now, like Tattooed Millionaire, growing out of the song that he wrote as a solo song that became an Iron Maiden song, If Eternity Should Fail, the song that kicks off Iron Maiden's Book of Souls album and came out in 2015, that started out as an a Bruce Dickinson solo song, and is actually the B-side on this single. So that's what I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background there and talk about how solo material has grown out of Iron Maiden material and vice versa. And that's where we sit today with this album. So Afterglow of Ragnarok, which is what we're talking about, first single from the upcoming album. As I mentioned, this is being released on March 1st. So we've got 4 months to wait on it. It is a concept album. And the first song here introduces us to characters, the storyline, what's going on. This is a vinyl 7-inch. So this is not a CD that is in here. I did not see any CDs, singles being sold that way. I'm okay with that if because of the way that it's coming here with the prequel comic, the B-side, stuff like that, making it a worthwhile addition. So the B-side on here, If Eternity Should Fail, the demo song, and then as I mentioned, the 8-page prequel, and I'm going to show you that prequel comic here in a bit. So let's talk about the single, Afterglow of Ragnarok. It's a 5-minute and 45-second long song. It is epic in nature. And as I said, it introduces us to the overall storyline that's going on that will be featured throughout the album, the Mandrake Project. The album features guitarist Roy Z, who's been collaborating with Bruce for now 30 years. I think he's an amazing guitar player, producer. I love having him as part of Bruce's solo stuff because of that difference that's in there. And I've always really appreciated how Bruce's solo music is different from Iron Maiden, has its own feel. Yet, of course, there is that bit of familiarity to it, that we know that it's Iron Maiden, not just from Bruce's vocals, but of course the way that he writes. And the song itself is a mid-paced, galloping kind of rocker tune. It's got the trademark air siren vocals of Bruce Dickinson all over it. I'm amazed that Bruce still sings the way that he does. Got some very interesting guitar from Roy Z on it. Now, the song itself doesn't really blow me away. I am new to it. It's one of those ones that I could warm up to more overall. But I think it's a great first song to kick off an album. And certainly better songs could be coming on it. We'll wait and see. It's, like I said, not a song that blows me away, but it is a good first song. Now, after the last two Maiden albums, I felt they were a bit lackluster in my opinion. I've talked about that before. I am excited to hear Bruce doing something outside of the band, this starting it here, and then maybe that'll, rejuvenate the juices and things. And when the Iron Maiden makes their next album, who knows what we'll get at that point. So the B-side on this being If Eternity Should Fail, the original demo. And that was recorded in 2014 before the album Book of Souls, which dropped in 2015. And it was originally intended to open up this album here, which has become the Mandrake Project. At that time, Bruce didn't know that that would be the storyline and the title of it and so forth. He says it's gone through many rewrites and so forth. But at that time, he wrote that song to be the kick-off of a concept album with the characters and so forth. Those characters are introduced in this song, If Eternity Should Fail. So it's really great having it as the overall part of this release and getting to hear the demo version, the original version of it on this, because there is an updated version that's going to appear on the new album. It's going to be track 6, so it won't be kicking off the album. Bruce says that it's got new lyrics, a new feel to it. He says it's got more vocals. Don't know what that means on it, but he says that there will be a version of it. And so that in and of itself is cool, that the song itself that started the whole project is not just going to be lost and or over on an Iron Maiden album. It is in fact going to appear on his solo album, but he's rewritten it, I guess, to fit differently in the album. I'm assuming the album will start and tell the story sequentially in order. Of course, that's not always the case with concept albums. We'll have to wait and see when we get it. But I'm glad to get the original demo as part of this 7-inch single release here. I think that much in the way that the later Iron Maiden version that appears on Book of Souls, did what it did with the song. A lot of it is similar here, but I actually like the overall demo better than the Iron Maiden track. Now, of course, as I said, I kind of felt that the last two Iron Maiden albums were a little bit lackluster. I very much did not like the production on those albums. And despite this being a demo that was recorded in a living room, I actually think it has better sound. I like it. It seems to have a bit more urgency to it than the Iron Maiden track on it, and the guitar solo by Roy Z on it I think is far superior to what ultimately became the album version of it. So Prequel comic is really kind of the best part of all of this. Certainly I enjoy hearing the music and everything, but the Prequel comic that's in this and the packaging of this, and as a music collector, was really what got me. So I want to show you guys that. I just think it's done very, very well. So we open it up here, and it's just, everything from the way that it's written, and it starts off right with the music. This is sealed. There's nothing hidden inside there, but we get right in on the comic itself. It's very well done. It is written, by Bruce Dickinson, which is great. And so you kind of start off in the middle of it, and you're not exactly sure what's going on. And later on, as it's getting towards the end, it starts to make a lot more sense with what's going on in here. And it gets wrapped up there. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the concept in just a minute. Bruce gives more information about the album, the song If Eternity Should Fail. He gives you this great picture that's here on it. And then ultimately we have the vinyl single where one side of it has the M from Mandrake Project, whereas the other side actually has the track listing. It is just black vinyl. They didn't do color or anything like that on it, but it's in its own sleeve. So now that prequel comic that I just flipped through on here, as I said, it introduces the characters, and if you are waiting for your copy and don't want anything spoiled, this is the time to pause and skip to the end. But if you're okay with it, continue listening on. I did want to give fair warning that there are some spoilers in this. So the characters that are introduced, Dr. Necropolis, who is a main character and on the quest for the Mandrake Project, Leah, who appears to be his girlfriend, a love interest, or maybe just a very close friend. I'm sure we'll find out more about her as things go on. A character they introduce called Shaman, who appears to be some sort of evildoer, and he's standing in the way of Dr. Necropolis and getting to the Mandrake Project, or at least the understanding or information of what that is. And so during the visions that are going on, as I mentioned at the beginning, you're kind of dropped right into the middle of this. It's like a dream state or something. During that, there is mention about Thor having lost his powers. As we know, Ragnarok is a story from Thor. It's part of the Marvel Universe, all that sort of stuff. So no surprise that that is there. I don't know if these other characters like Dr. Necropolis, Leah, Shaman have anything to do in the mythology that is Thor or not, or if that part is all just created by Bruce Dickinson. Again, I'm sure more information on this will come out as things develop. But the comic does start off with Dr. Necropolis already in a dream state, so you don't immediately know what's going on or what's happening or where you're at or that sort of thing. But as it begins to move through and you're coming towards the end, it does leave you on a nice cliffhanger as he awakes from that, and that's when you're introduced to Leah, who he is and where they're at and what's going on. And so I have to say, you know, this really did set the mood for the rest of what's to come, and that part of this whole packaging, the songs, you know, the storyline, that kind of stuff, very, very cool. So all in all, I think it is a great way to kick off the release of this new album. Getting a single that has a B-side on it that is not a song that is outright appearing on the new album. Yes, a different version of it will appear. Yes, we already got it as part of the Iron Maiden tune, but this is a standalone B-side that we haven't gotten, so that is a very cool thing. Often these days we are not getting B-sides, so I'm very happy about that. That sold me on it right away. But to add in the fact that the tie-in connection to Iron Maiden, so yes, we have Bruce, he's a connection, but If Eternity Should Fail being from an Iron Maiden album, that made it cool. Add in the packaging of this album, the 8-page prequel comic, just really icing on the cake for this thing here, and certainly did what it was supposed to. It piqued my interest. It's got me excited for the new album. I can't wait for March 1st. I hate that I gotta wait 4 months. I'm going to start counting down on it now. It's going to be one of those major albums for me that, as much as an Iron Maiden album dropping, I will be looking forward to this the same way, and it'll probably be a major album for me as 2024 continues on. Of course, we'll have to wait till the end of 2024 to really determine all of that. But anyway, there you go. That is my Bruce Dickinson Afterglow of Ragnarok 7-inch vinyl single review, including its B-side and the 8-page prequel comic. I hope you enjoyed this. You know, you can certainly go check out this song digitally, but if you want to hear the demo version of Eternity Should Fail, you're going to have to pick up the 7-inch to do that. All right, everyone, take care. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.